Dude, I like we just started. I like the Thompson in the background. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. Is that a real rifle? It's like a pellet gun. You're not gonna say?
Oh, it's not a pellet gun.
Oh, dude, this. Whoa, shoots! Wow.
Well, I didn't say it was a real gun. I just said it's not a pellet gun.
Well, for people, he has an AR in the background on Shane. So if you're listening to the audio version, I highly recommend you go to the YouTube channel just to see this. I like that you put that background. You know, it's really funny. Usually I put on an arcade game like the Marvel superhero game, right? But today
Yeah.
I put an arcade game called Metal Slug.
Would it have been better to have 1942 or something?
I don't know because it's not. This movie is basically not airborne, right? Well, I want to let everybody know
It's not in the
today.
Pacific.
Yeah, it's not
It's
the
not in the
Pacific. Yeah,
Pacific.
we are taking a break from the MCU just for this Monday because it's Memorial Day, and today we'll be doing Saving Private Ryan. Now, I haven't watched this movie in a while actually,
Yeah, I
and
haven't watched it in maybe 5 years
yeah, at least
before
maybe
before
even
this week.
yeah before
Before
this
this week,
week,
yeah. Well,
dude.
it's
It
a
was
it can be it's a good movie, but it can be a tough movie.
yes, it's a very good movie. It's very enjoyable. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, right? But it didn't seem that long.
It depends.
Well, it depends
I mean,
because like in the beginning,
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. It does not seem 2 hours like it's
because
two hours. But
the action scene like in the beginning, right? That the D-Day or invasion, the Normandy Beach invasion was like
yeah,
30 minutes long.
yeah, it's a big chunk of the movie.
It is, and at the end is like an hour, like 30 minutes of prepping, like a 30 minutes of battle scene right at the end. So it's
Yeah,
only
I
like
mean,
an hour and a half gone right there.
yeah, you got two big giant battle scenes in this movie,
Yes.
which I mean, it's a war movie. It'd be kind of dumb not to have a battle scene. I
Yeah,
mean,
right. Just all like
kind of
talking.
defeats the purpose. I mean, I'm not gonna say there's not war movies that can get through a movie without doing a battle. You know, some
Yeah.
of it's psychology. You know, psych. Messes your head and stuff. But
No, it's very good. I mean, my wife never seen it, so I'm making her
really,
see it this morning. No, yes, she never seen it. So I try to. Well, I didn't try. She was interested because I was watching. While in the middle of the week in our bedroom. Since we have digital now, we could watch it in our computer room and in the bedroom and in the living room. You could just pick it right up where you left off. So she
yeah,
was watching a little bit with me, and she was asking questions like, "Oh, you need to watch this whole thing throughout because it's brilliant." I think the
yeah, it's
storytelling it moves it right along to the next scene.
yeah. I mean, yeah, the story. I mean, it's one of those movies you got to watch from beginning to
Yep.
end. I mean, everything has a meaning.
Yeah, and I think it came out in 1998. It was the late
Yes.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's 90. I think it's 98 because I think it came up for 1999 Academy.
oh okay.
So yeah, it was 98. I mean, it came out with a lot of other movies in the late 90s.
Yep. I remember I had to skip work just to see this in the theater. I went to see this in the movie theater by myself. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you didn't know me then yet.
No, I didn't. I can't remember. Like I can't. It's just so realistic, right? Just the battle scene of
Oh yeah, I'd
Normandy
say it's
Beach.
pretty realistic. I mean, the movie is more about to show you what people have to go through, the sacrifices people make to serve their country, you know, in war. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have pointed out a lot of things inaccuracies in the movie, but that's not the point. I mean, the last battle in the movie in the town that they fight is not even a real town in France. It
Mm.
doesn't really exist, but it's there. It's all based on truths.
Events.
Yeah, true events throughout time. I mean, a lot of it. When I first saw the movie, I didn't know it was based on. I think it's based on somebody losing four brothers. That's in the
Oh
101st, but I thought it was based on the events from the Sullivans. I don't know if you heard of the
no,
Sullivans.
who are the Sullivans?
There was several brothers. Their last names were Sullivans. They served on the same ship in the Navy. The ship went down and they all died.
Oh,
They were all killed on the same ship. And I think that I don't know if it was their line or not. I think it's when they told the parents, they're like, they said your sons have been killed. They're like, which son? They're like all of them,
oh
because
gosh.
this line is repeated in this movie
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, come on, that's a pretty harsh thing to lose your entire.
Right. Oh, so do you think they covered that with the Lincoln, like
Well,
Abraham
that
Lincoln's
is
flag?
actually a true story too.
Oh,
During the Civil War, there was, I think it was five brothers.
Yeah, five brothers.
But not every one of them actually died. I think they assumed it was, because you got to think news travel. This is Civil War had been 1860s, 1864 on, and news would have traveled very slowly then.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have. I mean, I didn't even think the telegraph barely existed yet.
Shoot, even in World War II, if that was the case, it was even hard for them to find the James Francis Ryan.
Yeah, it would be extremely difficult. I mean, in this movie, it's just luck they happen upon him. I mean, most of this is their luck as they're traveling across Europe to find this guy. God. Most of it's all they had to talk to somebody. But the thing about this movie is also the actors.
Yes, I know. It's a whole cast of like, I think it was like Vin Diesel's first major role.
Yes, this is actually supposed to have been a lot of people's first major roles. It was even supposed to be Matthew,
Matthew who?
Not Matthew. Private Ryan.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's supposed to be Matt Damon's breakout role, but his breakout role actually came with Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting, then like Rounders.
But when they were thinking about casting him, he was nobody.
Yeah, he was nobody. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't say he's nobody because he was actually in several other movies.
He was in that Leo DiCaprio movie with Mark Wahlberg. What was it? Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, he was in a lot of things. I think he was in Geronimo.
Yeah, like minor roles though, not
he was in minor roles. Yeah. I mean, but he wasn't like unnoticeable.
Yeah, I mean, like who was the other actor? I remember Giovanni.
Well, yeah. What do you got? I forgot all the actors that were in there.
Adam Goldberg.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of names. Adam Goldberg was in there. What was it?
There's a guy named Edward Burns. Yeah, Edward Burns.
He was a director. He made his own movie. He became popular at that time period.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, a lot of these guys made their own movies. I mean, it was
Oh, that's Vin Diesel. That's why Spielberg picked him up because he saw him in like an independent film.
Same thing with Burns.
Oh.
He made his own stuff. He saw him. He was a big deal. I mean, and then I mean, you had a lot of people in there. But Ted Danson was in this.
Ted Danson! Like I think all the older guys, like the more well-known people, played the sergeants and the captains.
Yeah, they played all the captains because of their age.
Yeah, their age. Yeah.
Because they had Dennis Farina.
Yeah, Dennis Farina. Yes, I know that guy.
Paul Giamatti.
Yep.
Which I don't think he was that popular yet.
No. But his mannerism carries really well in this movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. I think Spielberg could be like, if he was picking racehorses, he'd always win.
Yes. Especially during this time.
I'm going to say it's him. It's probably his casting director, but they have an eye for good talent.
Oh, they do. Yeah, everyone worked really well, but then it's probably because of the director too, like Steven Spielberg.
Well, yeah, Steven Spielberg.
I mean, since the 80s.
Well, this guy's been doing movies for a long time. I mean, he's been doing movies since he was a kid. He was doing war movies in his backyard with a little 8mm camera.
Yeah.
I mean, so this guy already had an idea what works and what doesn't.
What works and what he wanted to see and accomplish things like that. How he set the pace for the story, Yeah,
because a lot of people said while he's filming this movie, he did storyboard most of this. He just set up shots as he was on the beach. You'd see this as he's traveling throughout the whole movie. They shot a lot of this in order.
Oh yes. Oh, they shot a lot of this in order.
I think. Wow. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, I think the beach scene was in order.
Oh yes.
They did like a day on the landing craft, a day up there to the I'm gonna call them tank fences, and then up on the beach, and then up near the bunkers.
Wow. I think I saw an interview a long time ago. It's either Tom Sizemore or Sizemore.
Yeah, Tom Sizemore, which is also in this movie. He's cool.
Yeah, he's
He's also in Black Hawk Down.
Yeah. Oh, I never seen Black Hawk Down.
Oh my God, Black Hawk Down is almost as good as Saving Private Ryan.
I heard a lot of people tell me that. I still haven't seen Black Hawk Down.
Okay, well, we'll have to see it.
Yes, definitely. Because if you say this is as good, right? Like I could watch this. Like I almost watched this movie back to back. When I finished watching it, and then I told my wife Heather, she's like, "You need to watch this. It's so good."
Yeah, Black Hawk Down ranks way up there. I'd say on the war movies.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a whole cast of actors you would know too.
Oh yeah, I figured that. Yeah, because I know Josh Hartnett is in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a lot of little actors, in the background that are in everything that you watch on TV.
Good. Okay. Good. Well, I was talking about like the I think it was before the internet was even popular, right? Because this movie was '98.
Before the internet was a
Because
problem.
I think I was on a talk show where Tom Sizemore and Tom Hanks was on a talk show. I forgot which one because they both named Tom, right? Oh, I think it was Tom Sizemore because like in the beginning scene they were on that boat, right? Like about to land on the beach, and there
Yeah.
was a whole bunch of extras. They just used a whole bunch of young kids because that's what the
Well, they
war
used a
was.
lot
Yeah.
of also a lot of those were Irish Army volunteers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used to. Well, I said
Oh, because it was shooting on a different
they were.
beach.
Yeah, they were Irish. Yeah, they shot on the Irish beach, and those were actually uh, Irish
Irish.
Army soldiers. Yeah,
Because he
Irish
says
Army soldiers.
he says something like they use a lot of extras too, and they're like, a whole bunch of these kids would get seasick, right? And some of the throwing up was actually real. So
Yeah.
it
Well, they
was like,
said that the ocean it was pretty rough.
yeah, it was
day.
pretty rough. So like Tom Sizemore and Tom Hanks were looking at each other like, man, I feel pretty awesome in front of all these young kids, right? And we're fine, and everybody, like all of these kids were getting seasick. But then
Yeah.
I was thinking like, at that time, a lot of them would have been young kids, like 18 to 20
No,
something,
no,
right?
you can't actually say that. That's the Vietnam War.
Oh, Vietnam War, okay.
World War II. Most of the average age of most soldiers were almost 26 years old.
26. Okay. Oh, that's
Most
good
of
to
them
know.
already had families, kids, jobs,
Oh,
businesses. All these guys left the United States to go
to
fight
go
this
fight.
war.
Yeah, to
I
fight
mean,
this
most
war.
people had a life started and put it aside. Almost the whole country in the United States put what they're doing aside to go fight this war. I mean, now as we come in nowadays, I mean, yeah, most wars are full of kids
Yeah.
that haven't even started their life yet, haven't even drank a beer yet,
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
haven't done a
Wow.
lot of things yet. But these other guys, yeah, most of these other guys, when they started World War II, they were most of them were average 26.
Oh, that's still young, I guess. Like, I mean,
No,
I
I'd
don't
say
know.
that's pretty
I didn't know how
young, but I
old
mean,
Tom Sizemore or Hanks is in this movie.
but you got to think a lot of people started in the 40s. You started their lives early, you know.
Yeah, because
I
I
mean,
guess
when people are 20, they used to have a whole family already.
yeah, because I mean, I don't know what is it like back then. Like, what else is there to do? Because also, like, I guess the death age was lower lower back then, right? Because
I'd say it was.
yeah, I would say it was.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
well, you got to think the world is. This is a big giant thing that moved the United States forward.
Yes.
We avoided almost all wars, conflicts, and we weren't a superpower.
No.
I mean, nobody expected anything of the United States then.
Oh yeah.
Unless you wanted like a good party, some good booze. Well, actually, I don't. They didn't even have booze yet. Still in
No.
Prohibition. No, we
No.
got out of Prohibition. I think Prohibition ended in 1933.
933. Okay.
Yeah, 1933 Prohibition. So yeah, they finally got their booze back. Hey, we had made good washing machines,
Oh, you know what? We named all those
mass-produced
people.
cars.
I forgot to name Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
still looked like I don't know. He was young at this age. He was like
Oh yeah, yeah. He played an amputee that's
the
in
colonel.
the general's office.
Yeah.
At the first of the movie.
the colonel. Yeah, empathy.
I also want to point out during the movie they had a military advisor,
yes, they did.
and he actually plays a character. He actually plays a character.
That's why they do it. They have a trained supervised Marine veteran,
Yeah,
Dale
he used to-
Dye.
Yeah, and he actually plays a role. He is the white-headed colonel.
Yeah, colonel.
It's in the general's office.
Yes.
That advises against.
Yeah,
it.
I'm looking at the picture. Yeah, he
They pretty
advised
much
against
let
it,
it.
yeah.
They pretty much put a lot of people in this movie. I mean,
Yes.
even some of the behind the crew scenes people.
Oh, he was in Platoon.
I think he did a lot.
He's in the Born on
lot
4th of July. He's in a lot of war movies.
Yeah,
But, I
because
mean, he's
he's
in other
an
movies,
expert. Oh, I mean, come on,
He's an expert. Yeah.
he would be a military expert,
Oh my God, he was in Mission Impossible.
and you didn't recognize him, did you?
No, he was in Sergeant Bilko with Steve Martin.
Yeah,
That's funny. Starship Troopers. Well, he's in a lot of. Well, he was in Spy Game. Night and Day. Wow, he's in a lot of good movies actually.
yeah, but what was it? Tom Hanks was Captain Miller.
Yeah.
Tom
Captain Miller.
Sizemore was
Sergeant Hogarth.
Hogarth. Private Reuben was Ed Burns.
Yeah, Burns. Yeah.
Private Jackson's was Barry Pepper, which he's also in We Were Soldiers Once.
We
I
Were
don't know if you
Soldiers.
recall that.
He was also in the Green Mile, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was naming other war movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? I always have him confused with I thought he was always in Bill and Ted. I thought he plays Bill, but that's a different actor. I just got my white people
I'm
mixed
sorry,
up.
wrong.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
wrong dude.
I'm thinking he's a lot younger than that guy.
Yeah, he's a lot
Then
younger. Different.
Adam Goldberg was Melesh.
Yes, Fish.
Vin Diesel was Capriccio.
Capriccio.
Wade was Giovanni
Ribisi.
which I don't remember seeing any movies with him other than that one where he's Gone in 60 Seconds.
Boiler Room.
Or Boiler Room.
And he was in
I
Ted.
haven't seen Boiler Room. And then you got Jeremy Davies as Upham.
Yes, Upham.
And then Matt Damon as Robert Ryan.
I think Upham's character was really good, like, because you never seen so much action, right? So he's the kind of guy that still have the sympathy.
Yeah, well, I guess you say he's well educated.
Yes, and that's why he was a corporal, right? That's why he's
he's a corporal, but he apparently didn't have college or something because he would have been an officer.
Yeah.
Or he was just his temperament wasn't great enough.
You know, let me ask you a moral question right off the bat.
Okay.
Because remember the scene where they took over the machine gun, and none of the Rangers want to go along with it. They want to go around it instead of.
Yeah, they saw an opportunity that they could went past the machine gun nest without.
So they had a POW that they couldn't take, right?
Yes.
The German guy. So Heather asked me, like, would you have shot him? What would you say? What would you do? Would you have shot that guy?
I wouldn't have shot that guy.
Even though, like, that was you in the situation, you wouldn't have shot that guy.
Yes, I wouldn't have shot that guy.
That's exactly what I told. Well, I told her you would say that. I didn't answer that like that. I said I would have shot him. Definitely. Yeah, I would. Well,
I mean, it would take a lot to go against your other guys and not shoot him. But you're not the bad guy.
Also, I'm not the captain.
But you're also not the bad guy. Or do you want to be the bad guy?
Well, that's objective, isn't it? Or subjective, isn't it? Like, to their mind, we're the bad guys. Right?
Yeah.
We feel we to say they're the bad guys.
Let me put it this way. If I was one of those characters, I went through all that crap and saw all that crap, I'd probably want to shoot him, but I wouldn't shoot him because, like I said, they invaded the country. France is not Germany.
Oh, okay. So
they are the invaders. I'm not the invader. I am there to free a country.
Wow.
I'm not going to be the bad guy.
Oh,
it's hard to say when you're shooting. I mean,
it's hard to say.
Friends. I mean, I nobody's shot up my friends or anything. That's hard to answer.
Because in the beginning, remember those two Rangers, those two privates, like those two. They weren't German. They were speaking Czech.
Yes, they were. They were Czechoslovakian.
Yeah,
people.
But so they were on. They were what?
They were forced to fight that war.
Oh.
They probably didn't shoot anybody.
And then they shot them. They were surrendering.
They got shot. And Tom Hanks stood there and watched.
Yeah.
And later on, something like that happens.
And then he hesitated.
Because nobody understands it. It wasn't a big deal. Everybody points this out in the movie, but I think that was a bigger deal than people realized, but you couldn't understand what they're saying.
Well, which part? The Czech part or the
two Czech
people?
Yeah,
the Czech people, yeah.
Because, I mean, basically, they were forced into that war.
Really?
So, and they were pleading for their lives, and they got killed.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the character, the German steamboat Willie that we're talking about was about to be executed. He pled for his life.
He did, yeah.
He was a soldier. I mean, and I guess I don't know if anybody knows. A lot of people don't realize it, but he's the one that kills Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah, he's at the end. Yes, he also killed Fish.
He does not. He only kills Tom Hanks.
Really?
The guy that kills Melish in the upper stairs is an SS soldier.
Oh, but he didn't kill Upham though. I thought it was him.
It's not the same soldier.
Oh.
You gotta pay attention to the uniforms too. I mean, they look similar because
he looks similar. The cuts, yeah.
But the guy upstairs was an SS soldier, which actually there were no SS soldiers in France during the war. But SS soldiers actually are kind of brutal people.
So how come when he went down the stairs he didn't kill Upham?
Because Upham was I mean, it's up for debate, but mainly you can see that Upham was not a danger to him at all.
Yeah, I didn't see because he probably knew him. He was on the stairs the whole time.
Upland, all he had to do was go upstairs and shoot that guy.
Yeah,
he could have saved Melesh, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. And then
when he walked down the stairs, you see that Melesh is crying. And I mean, Davies' character, he's crying, and plus he takes his hand off the rifle, so he wasn't going to put up a fight at all.
Oh, I thought it was the same guy all these years.
I think a lot of people do, but no, he's not. He's an SS. He was an SS. You see the markings and stuff.
Oh, so now it's even more interesting that the guy they like, Steamboat Willie guy, was the one who killed Tom Hanks at the end.
But he does. And the thing is, some people go, "Oh, well, this is horrible." In the way that the guy was. They let him go. He walks off. I'm sure the SS picked him up.
Yep. So whoever
I
got
don't know if you know that much about the SS, but you don't say no to the SS. Yeah, they would have killed him right there on the spot. This guy's trying to survive.
Yeah.
So they would have shot him on the spot if he wouldn't went with him.
So now let's just say because they hoped that they would have picked up by one of their guys, I could have shot him anyway.
Yeah, but you didn't know he was going to get picked up.
Yeah, you don't know. So when I basically said that, right, it just basically off of vengeance. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm acting on vengeance.
But I mean, the guy didn't have a gun. He was no threat to you. He surrendered.
I'll give him a gun. I'll give him a gun.
I mean, I know, but
this is messed up.
But if you were to shoot him, then it makes it okay for the Germans to shoot unarmed U.S. soldiers too.
Don't they?
It makes it seem like everything that the Japanese did to U.S. soldiers okay.
Oh, interesting. But don't they do that anyway? Because
they did it anyway.
Yeah, they did.
But it made it up. But it was crime.
So we're trying to be better. We're trying to be the bigger man.
We're not trying to be better. We should be better.
We should be better.
We should be better.
Nice,
I mean, I know that there's been people in the news, soldiers getting accused of doing war crimes in the United States. It's not okay. I don't care what happens.
Now you changed my mind, Shane. I'm changed like epiphany just now.
Yeah, well, it's just
should be better.
I mean, we don't want the United States does not need that kind of reputation when we go overseas to fight wars.
To fight, just to kill.
Or it guarantees that U.S. soldiers who get captured don't make it home. I mean, come on, because you got to think U.S. soldiers get captured, they're probably thinking, well, this guy would have shot me if I was unarmed, so I'm going to shoot him. You know?
That's good.
I mean, we're supposed to lead by example. I mean, there's not like a rule, but that's just what America's supposed to be. That's just what we're supposed to be. So why don't we try to be that?
You're right. You know, I know I talked to you about this probably privately, not on any of these podcasts, right? Like, doing the right thing is hard. Doing the right thing sucks.
It is difficult.
That's why I say doing the right thing does suck.
It's like when we did the podcast and I talk about Iron Man killing Bucky.
Yep.
You know it's wrong.
It's
wrong. Know it's wrong. And he's supposed to be a hero, and he shouldn't have been that way.
Yeah, he shouldn't act right there. But
because me and you had to debate like that too, and I was on the opposite side.
Yep. Doing the right thing is tough. Doing the right thing is tough, man. Sucks. Sucks. Doing the right thing sucks, okay? Anybody who's listening, you know doing the right thing sucks.
Doing the right thing sucks. But, you know, karma always comes back and bites you in the ass.
I don't believe in karma.
We don't have to.
You don't have to, yeah.
You call it something else if you want to. You can give her any name you want.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think whatever happened just happens. Kind of like in this movie, like they let him go. He came back not to get revenge because he was told, you know, kind of like what is that guy's name that left the unit? He said like, you know, he just put back into the rotation.
Which guy got pulled back in the Oh yeah.
Yeah, he made the comment. What whoever Edward Burns played, what was his character?
Yeah. I forgot what he said.
Ryben.
Yeah, Ryben.
He said like what if the other guys picked him up and just put him back in rotation, and that's exactly what happened.
And it would have happened, but it would have been the same with U.S. soldiers.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was a soldier who did his job. Let's say that Steamboat Willie got picked up by U.S. soldiers and went to jail. It wouldn't have saved Miller at the end of that movie.
No, it was.
And the other guys in line would have shot him.
Yeah.
Some people go, well, Upton should have stood up and stopped him, but he was one guy with a rifle, and he would have stood up. A bunch of those guys wouldn't have. They would have shot him.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I liked it. I did like Miller protecting him though, because he was a translator. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they because he's like, what did he say? Because he lost two translators.
Yeah,
now he got one. He had a translator who could speak French and a translator who could speak German. They both got killed. So now he's got one translator who can speak both.
Yeah. And I thought it was funny when he tried to pick up his typewriter, and then like Tom Hanks held that little pencil.
Yeah. He was actually an interesting character.
No, I thought he was too.
And I mean, the only reason it took a while, it was the last battle before, because remember, Militia was the first one that says, hey, don't put your little rat hands on me, I'll shoot you. But they warmed up to him. The problem is, though, this guy, I mean, come on. It'd be hard to trust this guy because you just made it off a beach where all your friends died.
Yeah, you know what?
And this guy is going to get you killed.
Yes. And you know what they did on, not Mellish, the medic asked Upton about Wade. Wade asked him what the book about he was writing, right? And he actually described like it's about the band of brothers. how they form as a bond when they're
Yeah.
in war. And I thought that was really interesting because like this movie was kind of like that. As
Yeah.
more they go into deeper to find Ryan, that's why
Yeah.
they got connected so well with each other.
Yes, everybody's connecting real well. It's also how they looked up to Tom Hanks' character.
Yes.
Too. I mean, this to him, like they're like at the beginning, they're like, "So where's yours from?" Oh, he was made in the army.
Yeah, it was made up.
This guy, he's like a T-1000.
Even when Ryan was describing, like, when he was talking to Captain about, like, what about Ryan's mother? What about Ryan's mother? I have a mother, you have a mother, the sergeant have a mother, and the captain has a mother. Well, maybe not the captain, but the rest of us got mothers. Yeah, I could notice that his company really look up to him, right? That's why they were trying hard to find out, because I'm sure back then too, like, it's not easy to make the rank of captain.
It's not that hard. It's not that easy. You're right, because I mean, this one he's a captain, but he's only got like what 7 men, 8 men
on this team, yeah.
And this team, but yeah, they don't remember he controls a company, which is what 4 platoons.
Yeah,
and I think a platoon is 24 men, 21 men a piece. I mean, I know I'm wrong, but
I have no idea. So
it's an estimate because I was in the army, so I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I don't.
But it's an estimate. A platoon controls around 21 men. It's led by a lieutenant most often. That meant there was 4 lieutenants under this man.
Yes, 4 lieutenants. Yeah.
And of course, he has a sergeant as his, to make sure, because we saw the scene where he's giving orders to the sergeant. The sergeant turns around and gives the orders to the men.
Yes.
He never gives the orders directly to the men.
No, he doesn't.
The sergeant has his back.
Yes.
Because with the scene where Burns, Rebish, whatever his name is, starts to walk away.
Yeah.
And the sergeant pulls out the pistol, is going to shoot him.
Yeah, he was going to shoot him.
Yeah, it starts to fall apart right there.
I think that was a good scene. How throughout this whole movie, right? Everybody's trying to put in money to the pool to find out what the captain was before the war, and it was so hard to pinpoint. Like, even in the movie, I was like, "What the heck is he before the war?"
But it does give you a clue.
He does.
It does no. Yeah, the clue didn't do me any good.
No, it didn't do me any good either, because it was just up and talking about like no, they did it twice. Once was when they were talking about griping, and then the second one was in a church about Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson. When he quotes Emerson, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have known he was a teacher.
Yes.
But I assumed he was just college educated.
Yeah, see, something like that. Yes, he just educated.
Like, who doesn't know Emerson? I got Emerson books.
You know what? I only know Emerson because that's what Heather wanted to name Ryan's middle name.
Oh, okay.
Because also in a town in Nebraska, there's a town called Emerson.
Oh, okay.
It's Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yeah, Ralph Waldo Emerson, right?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I know is because I have one of his books.
Oh, okay. I remember that name, but I don't remember any of the stories because
he didn't do stories; his poems.
Oh, but yeah, poems. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's to show you how much I know about Emerson. And you're right; they did list the clue twice.
What was the first one? Would you say the first one was?
The first one was when Ryman was talking about the mother's part, and then Upham says something, and then Tom Hanks had to explain to his company, right, what Upham meant when he said that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the first one. I was like, oh my God, because I was watching the second time. I already knew he was a school teacher.
I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah, when he said that, nobody picked it up. Nobody picked it up,
He picked up a lot of stuff. And then, of course, the get all of his men. And then here's another thing. Okay, because we need to go back to that, where they stormed the machine gun nest. Did you think that Tom Hanks' character was going to kill the prisoner? Or do you think maybe he was just stalling to cool his men down?
For the Steamboat Willie guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to kill him at first when he grabbed him. Right before he told him to dig the graves, I thought one of the graves was for that guy too. For all his men to dig those graves, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I'm kind of wondering now that I saw the movie and think about it. Like, I wonder if he just he needed the time to cool his men down.
Yeah, and himself too, because he cried during that scene.
Yeah, well, he just lost another man over a decision. And here's what bothers me: is why did he make that decision?
Because the objective was to win the war, and he didn't want the next company to come.
He said, but I mean, he could have went around those guys too, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But somebody would have been killed.
Yeah, somebody would have been killed.
Because I mean,
well, he had that knowledge in the church. He said, for every man he saved,
He
Yeah.
thought he saved several men, but now he's saving Private Ryan, which is probably not worth it.
Yeah, and then that's why he kind of make that joke. He probably make a longer lasting light bulb, or cure some kind of disease or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, or make it a longer lasting light bulb.
Yeah, I thought like even Heather laughed at that part because
Yeah,
because you never know how much is wasted, right? Even Jackson, the sniper, which I love that guy.
yeah,
He even said like I think it's a waste of resources just to find one guy.
yeah. Well, the thing is, if this would have been somebody else's movie, he would have been able to kill Adolf Hitler, and the movie would have been over.
Oh yeah, yes. I do like that guy because he was Catholic. He says a prayer every time.
You sure he
Oh
was
yeah.
Catholic? I don't think he was Catholic.
You don't think so? He kisses the
No,
cross and he recites from the Bible.
that don't make you Catholic. He could have been a very good Baptist,
Oh
Methodist.
yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. You're correct. Yes.
He could have, because the only reason I say this because in one of the original drafts, there was actually 11 drafts of the script written.
Wow.
One of the drafts of the script, he was a preacher.
Oh, but
I can't
then
remember
you wouldn't be able to tell anyway.
I think he was supposed to
I
be a
mean,
preacher. Well, they called him Bumpkin a couple of times, but he was a country person from the 40s. I mean, even today, country people are pretty religious.
yes.
I mean, that's just the way people
It's
are.
him. He kissing the cross all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was probably for the luck to
Yeah.
shoot, to
Yeah, for
stop
good luck.
someone.
Yes. So he's superstitious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, superstitious to me ties into religion
Yeah, it does.
to an extent. I mean, and I mean, it's also like using holy relics. I mean, a cross is a holy
Right.
relic in a way.
I wanna talk about the part where they went up to the wrong Ryan. That was Nathan
Yes,
Fillion.
yes, it's so awesome. It's Nathan Fillion because I'm
It
like,
was
this
awesome.
guy is so famous now,
Yeah, and it was
especially
awesome. Well,
in the
not just the
narrative.
guy, right? Just that scene when
That
his
scene was
whole.
good. Well,
Well,
it is a very important scene because
you
it
know it
actually
is.
because it shows because okay, they don't care. The Ranger group
Right.
doesn't really they don't see the purpose of their mission.
Yeah.
But Ted Danson's character does.
Right.
Almost everybody
Yes.
there does. And I like it when he runs up and they go, when they say it, here
Yeah.
comes this.
Yep. Yeah. They said I told you it was a hole. They don't even know the guy. But like
Yeah,
when
they
they
didn't
saw
know.
him break down, right? That was different. When you still
Yeah,
tell
they all,
somebody that like, hey, your
well,
brothers are dead,
yeah,
and he's
well, it
like, which
also had
ones? All of them. Dude, that's tough.
it is tough because I
Yeah.
mean Tom Hanks didn't even try to
He can't because
well, he does later on when he finally meets the second Ryan.
yeah.
He's not so abrupt.
Oh
This
yeah.
one he's just like on you, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's just kind of angry. He tells that guy, "Yeah, all your brothers are dead."
Yeah.
And then, of
It's
course, I mean, the only person that cares is Ted Danson's character, which is actually the same rank as Tom
yeah,
Hanks'
because they're
character.
captain. Yeah, both captains.
He's the captain for the airborne guys.
Yep.
Which, of course, I like it. He goes, "I believe what you're doing." He goes, you do?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, I got two brothers myself."
Yep.
I mean, it's a big deal. I
Oh,
mean, a lot of people.
yeah.
I mean, if you're fighting overseas to make something better, what good does it do if nobody's there to enjoy it?
Yeah.
You know?
Gosh.
I mean, come on. Think about it. What if your kids went to war?
Oh, it's tough.
You know
Like,
what? You can't stand to lose one of them.
no.
Man, think of how somebody feels to lose all of them.
Yeah, on
That's
the
it.
same day. Can you imagine that? Like you find out
Oh,
on the same day.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know how
That's
anybody would stop. It's just like you didn't get anything out of it.
yeah. I think
You
that's
just
why
lost
it's so easy to like side with those rangers. That the pirates are like, oh, I don't see the point of this mission. That's
Yeah.
the opinion where like, because you don't live through that, so you don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, and they've been fighting over there. They're just ready to go home.
They just
And that's
all
like
know
when
when to go home.
we see the first Ryan. That's what everybody's thinking. They're more concerned about their family at home.
Yep.
Because it's like Theon's character. He goes. Well, I'm sure your family's fine. I'm sure they're fine. And he's like, well, how do you know?
Yeah.
He's like, how do I know?
Oh, I
So
forgot they used to call it grammar school instead of elementary.
they still call it grammar school, depending on who you talk to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a regional thing. I
Hmm.
mean, you're probably right. Grammar school is probably something that's going away.
Maybe not in was it
Because I've heard some
Minnesota,
people
right?
say, because there's a scene where okay, he tells Matt Damon his brother's dead. He's, are you on the level with me? I heard somebody ask, what's that mean?
Oh.
And it is. I think it's just some things that's going away.
It's
I
just
mean, I would have
modern
thought,
day, I guess, slang. Yeah.
but it's like foobar.
Football. I forgot about that football, and then Upham didn't know what it was.
Well, yeah, well, because of course, they told him, oh, it's German.
Yeah, it's
He's
German.
like,
He's trying to look it up too. What a
yeah,
nerd.
he's looking it up later on. He's like, I looked in the book. I don't find it. And go out there and find those people.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good scene too.
It was a good scene. Well, that's because they won't let them in. Because it's a foobar to them is what bonds them.
Yes.
They're their little group. It's like sharing an inside joke.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let Upton in on it
Yeah.
because their joke now is he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah. He doesn't know what it means until almost at the end, like at the end of the bridge.
Yeah,
Then he's
they
really
don't let him
find
know. Well, yeah, it's not until they bring him into their group.
Yeah.
You sitting there and they bond with him finally. And they're like, you came all this through all this crap with us. All right, you're good.
Yeah.
After the machine gun nest thing.
Oh man. It's so crazy. Remember like the law firm that we worked at? So one of the attorneys went to France, right, for his PTO or his vacation. And he'd been to those some of the battles, places, right, in France. And he said there was this tree, right? It was just nothing but like bullets inside that tree. Yeah, he said like this thing is almost just full of lead. It's like, what are you gonna do? Take that tree out or take that lead out? Like what is yeah, it's just full of tree, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like tons of trees.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there is too. Where did I just?
Yeah, I think some of those buildings have probably been rebuilt. And there's no telling what's under them or in the walls.
Right. That which brings me to that scene where Vin Diesel dies.
Yes.
That little town. Oh, dude, that was.
Which is neat that set that they're at is the same set we see at the end of the movie. They shot it from a different direction.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Because they built that whole set in England.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, but Vin Diesel's the first one gets killed out of the team.
Yep.
Because he couldn't follow orders.
Yeah, he couldn't follow order, and it just points out like, hey, this is why, we don't bring children, and that's why you need to follow orders.
Yeah, I like
that. That was a good scene.
When he walks up there and he goes, "Yeah, this is why we follow." And you tell Tom Hanks is really upset because he lost the guy.
Yeah, he lost the guy because he didn't listen.
Yeah, for some stupid little reason.
Yep. And you know what? Like, there was a sniper. You know what's really crazy about that scene though? Like, that was just one sniper, right? They got rid of him, and then suddenly they go through that stuff, and then they found another hideout just by accident.
Yeah,
that's crazy because they do the thunder keyword thing, right?
Yeah,
and then they were within vicinity, like maybe 10, 15 feet to me, because if they just walk a little bit, and it was that room with the stone wall, it got knocked over. They were just sitting there chilling.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, they're a radio operator. There's a radio operator base right behind the wall.
Oh wow!
Which is actually a good scene because they're all screaming at each other, put their guns in, put their guns down. And then here's bam, and then of course Ted Danson makes his grand entrance. It's like
that scene was so intense. Like when it happened, like you take a breather. Oh.
There's all those times. I mean, and it's a lot of wars. I mean, you're operating right next to your enemy, opposite a wall, and don't even know it.
Yeah.
And then you go across a building. There could be a guy hiding up in a tower waiting for you. Because you got to think a sniper's only going to shoot once. He won't shoot you again because if he shoots you again, it gives away his location.
Yes.
So usually they shoot you and then they move.
Yeah.
And do it again.
But that guy stays there though. Like whoever shot.
Scared. Yeah. Well, because I'm sure he assumed that nobody knew where he was.
Yep. You know what? I forgot that scene right after they took over the beach. Vin Diesel finds the SS knife.
Yeah, the youth. We should say the Hitler youth knife. It's like a. You know what they are, right?
No, I don't. I was going to ask you, what does that mean?
Hitler's youth. They were kind of like Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Like how we had the Boy Scouts of America in the United States. That's what basically they were for Hitler, and they give them all knives and stuff, and they'd learn military type stuff, and they like inform on people.
Whoa.
Oh, they were kind of like the evil Boy Scouts, and then most of them would grow up and be soldiers.
Yeah, like I guess in this case.
Yeah, they basically is just bringing them in, and they'd probably be SS or stuff, stab up the Germans in the back.
That actually brings me back to that shooting thing, because they were running in the trench, right? And they all had the upper advantage, and they were shooting them. It wasn't until the sergeant said cease fire.
Yeah,
because they were like, I think they were going to kill all of them. They were just running.
They did kill them all.
Yeah,
that was the goal. If you don't surrender, you die.
Yeah, you don't surrender.
I mean, all those guys are running away to get. I mean, they may regrouped. Because I mean, the movie doesn't show a certain battle. There's a big battle between the beach And before he gets the mission, when he's talking to the lieutenant colonel or Dennis Farino's
Yeah.
character, there's a mission where they went along the beach and they knocked out two flat guns, two 88 flat
Yes.
guns. They use them as anti-aircraft, and
Yeah.
you can take out tanks with them.
Ooh.
And he lost a whole bunch of men trying to get that, because
Yes.
he even says the line where he goes, "They just didn't want to give up those 88s."
Yeah, they don't want to give it the 88s.
And I mean, they don't want to give up, because I mean, if it was American soldiers, they want to give them up. You're losing your edge. I mean, that knocks down all the aircraft and tanks that's coming towards you.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, there was a big mission. There was already war on him, because you know, he's standing, he's seeing some guy eat a ham sandwich, another guy's shaving, and somebody else is drinking coffee.
Yeah.
He's thinking, man, and you're gonna send me to go find one little guy.
Yeah. Yep. That's why Ted Danson said that guy is overrated.
I didn't think, was that with him he was talking about?
It was him. Yeah, I thought,
Okay.
I assume it was him that they were talking about.
Okay, I thought they were talking about somebody else that was still in England and hasn't even came across yet.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. This whole thing, takes what, place over a week?
Yeah, is it over a week?
And you got to remember, they're still moving soldiers. I mean, because these guys most of the guys that came up on D-Day, they were like training for 2 years. I mean, the United States was fighting. I mean, in the Allies, I should say I shouldn't just say Allies, Allies, because I mean, the people came up on the beach was Canadians, Americans,
French, right?
British.
Oh no,
free
French was
French.
there, right?
No, there was free French.
Oh.
So some of the French got away. I mean, because when France was invaded, a lot of people got in boats and made it across the English Channel to Britain. And then you had, like, I mean, a lot of other nations were taken over. They had their own people over there. I mean, they're all coming across. So I mean, on the day of D-Day, everybody's been waiting. It was like a revenge day.
I like. Well, I'll go back to the knife when he gave it to Fish. He started crying. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, when he breaks down, yeah. But I think it has more to do with everything that happened on the beach.
Yeah.
Come on, look, you got to think. You're on a landing craft. When the doors come down, the machine guns go off. It kills everybody standing in front of you.
It's crazy.
If you didn't get hit, you're lucky. Then you got to run through all the machine gunning, barbed wire, those tank fences, all the other mines up there on the beach. There's people, and you got to step over hundreds of dead bodies.
Yep.
Plus,
you mentioned the people who died in the water.
Yeah, they don't even show it that well, but it's told through lines that there was already a landing party that hit that beach, and they weren't there because they got wiped out. So yeah, and then you get up there and get in the bunkers. I mean, after you made it there, I mean, it'd be hard not to break down.
Yeah,
because it's more like you can't believe you survived all that.
Yeah, within just that a short amount of time.
Yeah, and here's a funny thing though. Something is like a Saving Private Ryan book or something. Mm-hmm. It tells a little bit about World War II and stuff. Story. It tells us about these guys. They tell this soldier about maybe only 1 out of 10 guys are going to make it up there to the bunkers or on the beach.
Yeah.
And he says, so that's the guy that hears it. He looks to his left, the soldier to his left. He looks at the soldier to his right. And he goes, "Feel sorry for these poor son of a bitches."
Oh gosh.
But that's it was supposed to say, it gives you about the soldiers young enough to think they're the guys that's going to make it.
Yeah.
Now that was why U.S. soldiers did so well, or I'd say U.S. soldiers did so well because most of the other nations, they've been fighting for years. You know, they've already seen tons of people die. Most of these guys in those landing craft, other than the Rangers that we see in the story, most of those haven't even seen combat yet. They don't know what it looks like somebody gets shot. They don't know what it looks like to be shot at. So as far as they're concerned, when the doors come down, they're going to make it up the beach easy.
Oh, that's right, because we went in the war until 41, right? Yeah.
Well, we entered, the United States doesn't enter the war until December 8th, 1940.
When it was, it was until Japan attacked Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Yes. So the next day we go to war with everybody. And we're fighting two fronts.
Yeah, we're in two fronts.
Yeah, you got to think there's people fighting in Pacific and there's people fighting in Atlantic. Of course, we start in Africa and then go to Italy. And then we'll go swing around and hit Normandy in D-Day.
Wow.
And then after they make it into France, then they just bring everything, all the men, all the troops from all the allies. And then they just slowly make their way to Paris and then on into the Germans and then to Berlin. By the time you get into Germany, we're racing against the Soviet Union for Berlin.
So
which they're the Allies too. So.
So let me ask you a question. Like I didn't know and Heather didn't know. Do you know why Tom Hanks' hand was shaking? Like Captain Miller's hand. What was it shaking about?
It's PSTD.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, people have said like other things, but yeah, it's supposed to have been the onset, and I think it has a lot to do with the script. It was PSTD.
Really?
It wasn't. Some people may say that the stress may have showed his early onset of Parkinson's, but
I was thinking it was Parkinson's.
but I think, and it could be. I mean, I think it's up since it's not really ever listed in, but the script was actually early onset of PSTD.
Oh, I didn't know. Like that's what one of the things for PSTD.
I don't know. I think
PTSD.
I think
Post traumatic. Yeah, PTSD.
yeah, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. I say that. I'm not real good with acronyms.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. A lot of people are dyslexic. Spider-Man, Tom Holland being one of them, and Tom Cruise, and Keanu Reeves, I believe.
Yeah, and they all got. Yeah, they are. I see it. They did well. Maybe there's hope for me.
Hey, they do really well because I like reading the script is already hard enough for them, and then they have to memorize it. You know.
Yeah, but I don't think that affects you memorizing the script.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let's go back to
They
Tom.
could hire somebody to read it for them. Yes.
You could hire somebody. Well, not beginning though. You got to make it till you get that.
Their mom read it for them.
I think Tom Cruise every day he was thinking, if I can just get this money, I'll have somebody read it to me.
Yes, that's the motivation.
Yes, that's the motivation.
Yes.
Now he's like, I am so rich. I have somebody that sits in my trailer, sits in their own trailer that I got for them, and tells it to me.
So with this PTSD, like I know the sergeant was the first to hear it, but after I was going to talk about that messed up scene where they're going to the dog tags at the airborne, in front of everyone. That was like, it's so hard because they were just, I guess in a way, so focused they didn't even care about what other people were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that they were so I don't want to do this mission that they just didn't care, and they forgot about people.
Yeah, they forgot about people.
They forgot themselves, and Wade had to snap them out of it. And they're making the jokes. I mean, even Tom Hanks, it was against what his character was.
Yeah,
I think it was just him slowly slipping, and he snaps, and he finally snapped back into it. But I think he doesn't snap back into it until after the machine gun nest.
The Steamboat Willie thing, yeah.
Yeah, because then he's back to being a good captain.
It was because like he's like after they're like, oh, he's not here within the dog tags, he went to actually ask the people one by one as the airborne were walking.
Yeah, well, yeah, he kind of gives up, but it worked out in his favor.
It did because he found that guy from who was also in Remember the Titans, the big dude.
He? Okay, yeah, I didn't know who this guy was.
See,
yeah, but
I forgot what it was, right? And then when I was
German hand grenade went off in the interior.
When Heather was watching, she's like, "This actor looks so familiar. Wasn't he in that?"
Really?
Yeah, she was like, "Wasn't he in that football movie?" And I'm like, "I watch a lot of football movies. You're gonna have to be very specific." And she's like, he played that guy who befriended the black guy. At that time, where black and white people were not friends. I was like, "Remember the Titans?" They're like, "Yeah." And then she looked him up. Yeah, for sure. He was one of the stars, and then he was one of the stars, right? And he made friends with the black people. But then
here's the funny thing I was thinking, and I may be wrong, but I almost think that character, the guy that plays that actor actually in that movie, is in the beach scene too.
Oh, no way! You think so?
I could be wrong, but it looks like him. When Wade has this guy down, he's laying there with his arm ripped open, there's blood squirting out.
Yeah.
He's screaming, "I'm going to die! I'm going to die!" Yeah. I think that's the same actor.
Oh, same actor, but not the same character.
I don't think it can't be the same character.
Oh, okay.
Because one's 101st, the other one's
that's right, different company. Yeah.
Was it the other company that?
That's really funny that you point that out. Like, did you notice that, or do you think that?
I noticed it the second time. I was like, it looks a little, kind of the same.
Hey, you know what? They might use the same people. Who knows?
I mean, would it be easier?
Yeah, it would be easier.
I mean, come on.
He's already on set, right? What if they just ship
the next day? I mean, you're already in Europe. Yeah. You already got all this stuff.
Yeah, you already flew all these people over here.
That's what I'm saying. You need as many guys as you can.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of those 101st that we see walking by after the glider scene.
It's probably the same extras.
It's probably the same extras that we see on the beach.
Yeah, on the beach. Yeah, you're right.
It's hard to get all the actors. It costs a lot of money to keep doing it. Because like I told you about the set.
Yep.
The sets are the same. The last French Town is the same as the first
French Town. Yeah.
I mean, because it costs so much to build that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But you do understand
like that.
But yeah, when we go back to the glider, those were gliders, right?
Which ones?
Okay. You know when they go to the dog tag scene,
Yes.
they meet they meet that lieutenant that flew those aircraft.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know those were gliders, right?
Oh no, I did not.
Okay, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I want
Okay.
to point out that the actor who plays the lieutenant that flew those
Yeah, yeah.
gliders, he's also in Pearl Harbor. You remember him?
Oh, I
He
don't
gets
remember in
shot in the
Pearl.
neck, and they
Oh,
say, Kate, what's her name? Uh,
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale saves him by
Yeah.
putting her finger in his neck. Oh,
Oh shoot, that's the guy.
that is the guy. Isn't it awesome? I
Oh,
love these guys pop up again. I mean, it's
well,
just kind of hard to forget this guy.
you know the only other movie I remember him, he was in Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Yes, he was.
Yes, that's the
One
only
of these
one.
guys are. One of these
Yeah,
guys is said. But anyhow, the aircraft when they walk in that little room,
yeah, with the
they're
general was.
gliders. They're actually gliders. They're these big giant box. I've actually seen a real one
Oh,
because there's a museum in Midland that has all the old World War II aircraft. They even have a room where it looks like you're walking around with the aircraft, and I guess they rebuilt them. You would actually think it's a kite instead of a glider because
really?
it's plywood and cloth,
Do you think
and you
they?
drive jeeps up into it.
Really?
It's like a big square. It's like a
Yeah.
big square with wings on it, and you open this back door. You drive jeeps up in it, or soldiers. Put soldiers all in it, and a plane is supposed to hook onto it, and it pulls it real fast, and it goes up in the air, and it goes over the channel, and it lands, and you drop off all your stuff. But the thing is, like I said, in the movie, the guy was griping about they put a bunch of metal in the bottom to save that general.
Yeah.
And I'm like, basically, it's like if I took a kite and I stuck a bunch of metal on it, you know what's going to happen. It's going to
Yes. He's gonna tear it. Yeah.
That's what happened. So those guys flew in something. It was basically a kite carrying jeeps across the channel.
Oh.
I don't know if you could carry a Sherman tank in it or not. I don't think you can. But I know you can put jeeps in it because I've seen jeeps. They show jeeps up in them.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I don't know. I want to get in one of those. Plus, a lot of soldiers are in those. And they're like transport planes, but they weren't a regular transport plane.
Oh
They're
wow.
just basically paper. It's like flying a piece of paper across the channel.
I wonder why
So
they did that back then. Is it to be more undetected?
no, because radar installations didn't work all that well.
Oh, so
You
that
know,
was still an advantage then.
yeah, because remember we see the radar tower under the machine gun net, over
Yes.
the machine gun nest. Yeah, they weren't. I mean, that's radar was invented then.
Hmm.
That's when it came about. Maybe American radar may have been a little bit better, but that would only been in America. I think German was somewhat decent because I know that Germans did make an aircraft where they never made the airplane. The airplane never made it out because the war ended. But they were building an airplane where they crushed up charcoal and put it
Yeah.
in paint and painted the airplanes with it, so you couldn't pick it up on radars. I'm sure ships had radars and stuff.
Oh gosh.
I'm
Dang.
sure they put up radar installations in France and Britain. Britain would have had radar installations.
Really? Dang.
Well, because Britain, you got to think Britain's right across the channel because you heard of the Battle of Britain.
Yes.
And actually, you see the Battle of Britain in the movie Pearl Harbor when Ben Affleck's character goes to England to fight.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I remember seeing Brand Affleck. I remember seeing Pearl Harbor. I think it was with you because it was a Michael Bay movie, right? Yeah.
It had to be, yeah.
Because I remember seeing it on a DVD one time, but I can't remember it that
came out
well.
before I moved to Dallas. So,
Oh, you think? Okay. I know I
yeah.
seen it in the theater somewhere.
I know I had it.
It was a long movie. I
But
remember.
anyhow, yeah, Britain basically fought a war against the Germans to keep control of the air over Britain,
Yeah.
which is good. They won. Because if they didn't, then we wouldn't have been able to do the D-Day invasion. You wouldn't have been able to ship everything to England and then go across the channel. Because the Germans would have been constantly bombing U.S. soldiers and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, we wouldn't have to base the bomb. Because you notice as they get across the channel, you see all the French towns are bombed.
Yeah.
It's Allied bombing. All the U.S. has been bombing, or allies, so the allies have been bombing everything all the way to Germany.
Oh.
That way, the way that keeps those soldiers awake, so they're tired, so they're having a hard time finding food, so they're always wet. And that way, when the U.S. soldiers come or Allied soldiers come across, it makes it easier for them to fight, and most likely these guys may surrender.
Okay.
Even though Germans are really stubborn people and didn't surrender that often.
No. Yeah,
But
I see that.
The neat thing is, though, a lot of the Germans, when they did surrender, they became POWs. They were actually shipped to the United States and lived in POW camps here.
Well,
Actually, maybe, say 30 miles up from where I'm living right now, they had a POW camp.
Wait, so you pointed out the Germans are hardly surrender, right? So I
Yeah,
guess
some of them did.
in the
SS
beginning
don't
scene, it was probably all Czech people.
No, well, there's probably Czech. There's you got to remember they take over a lot of nations, and they can see a lot of like Czechoslovakia. To them, more German people. They take over Austria, which is Hitler's from. More German people, and they just press all these people into service. I mean, they were getting desperate soldiers, so it didn't matter. They're yanking people off the street and making them fight, whether you believed in Hitler's ideas or not.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I mean they were basically, forced to fight. And I mean, and what are you going to do? You're in a German uniform. You're going to get shot by Allied soldiers, so you might as well fight.
Hey, it didn't happen in that movie, The Pianist, okay?
Okay, I didn't see The Pianist.
Oh, you didn't see it? But you know what it's about, right?
No, I don't. I don't know. You have to refresh me because I don't know if I know this movie.
Well, it started Adrian Brody.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, he's the youngest actor to win an Academy Award, and he really deserved it because if you see his performance, The Pianist, basically he plays a Jewish artist, right? Because he know how to play the piano. So when the war happened, it was just basically him trying to find a way to survive. Right? So at the I don't want to spoil the movie, but what happens is like, it's really cold over there. One of the scenes, I forgot where he was, right? And it was so cold. He was wearing a SS uniforms, because he just had to keep himself warm. But at the end, when the Americans came, they were kind of pissed at him. He's like, I'm Polish. And they asked him like, what the F are you wearing that jacket? He's like, I'm cold. And that's how the movie ended. But then, yeah, you're right. I need to pay attention to the uniforms they were wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the people back then were.
Yeah, you don't want to put on a bad guy's uniform because we already saw what happens to people who's got the uniform on a lot of movies. Yeah. I mean, because you got to think, how do you know that the guy's actually where the guy's from?
You don't. You don't like all you do.
Because I mean, even in the scene, there's a scene in Saving Private Ryan, where they take out the half track. Remember the half track comes up, gets hit twice with a bazooka.
Yes.
And then, of course, they jump up. The guys are coming out. They shoot the guy on the top of the gunner, and they shoot the guys coming around. But you hear them they yell at Captain Miller. When he gets up, they go, make sure he's down first. And he stops.
Yes.
They want to make sure when they shot those guys, one of them's not wounded and gets back up and kills him.
Yeah.
And then he moves around to the other side of the half track and wipes out anybody else. There was two chicken come out.
Yes. That's when they found Ryan, the real one. Yeah. He just popped out of nowhere. Like I
know you got three guys and they introduce themselves and he's like,
yeah,
Private James Ryan.
No, like James Francis Ryan. Like, whoa, that's hell of a guess.
Yeah, it's like, how did you know that?
No, that was actually a pretty good scene when they were looking for. Like, I thought they were gonna find him in like, okay, now we're at this camp or this site. We're gonna find him here. It was just because by chance.
Yeah, it was by chance. It was actually interesting. I mean, this movie was a good movie. I mean,
no, this is a great movie.
Because it wasn't something I was sitting there trying. I mean, I don't know if it's the violence stuff. Usually, you try to guess. You pretty much all know what's going to happen next. It's not when I knew what was going to happen next.
No, yeah, it wasn't.
I sure didn't think Miller was going to get killed at the end of the movie.
Oh, I know.
The whole team, almost everybody white gets killed
except for Ryben.
Yeah, Ryben and Upton.
Yeah, Upton didn't die. Upton end up shooting that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he finally got his nerve back.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? If we're going to say there was a sequel, he probably went on to be a good soldier over there.
Because, like, from all the things that we talked about, right? Like, even like I would have shot that guy, right? Now I was wondering if his character should have thought like I should have shot him when I had the chance.
I don't know, but he felt guilty.
He probably felt guilty. I would, wouldn't you? Like, we let him go, and then he turned his back on us.
I'm sure he did he felt guilty in a way.
He didn't do the right thing there.
Because I think it feels like I stood up for this guy, and he's back in line. But the guy the German guy was doing what he had to do.
Yeah, he was just doing his job.
Oh, I mean, like I said, they would have shot him if he didn't.
Yeah, they would have shot him.
And so, but it is the thing because you know what he said because he stands up and Upton's telling him lay down your weapons and stuff. And of course that guy goes, "I know you."
Yeah.
And he even says his name, Upton. And
yeah, Upton. Yep, he shot him.
Shot him right there.
I thought it was really tough because he shot him. Right now, the other five that were surrendering, like, oh, we better listen now. He shot this dude. I don't know if I'm next.
Then he tells him to run. But the thing is, it may have a lot to do with everything that came together. he knows this guy. He was more comfortable shooting him.
Oh.
I don't think he goes, "Oh man, you killed Captain Miller. I'm gonna kill you." Because basically, in a way, I don't even know. He knows that this guy. He doesn't know this guy shot Captain Miller.
No, he just know that
And the German has shot Captain Miller when Steamboat really, he doesn't know that's Miller because
no, he doesn't. He just shooting at.
He sees a guy crawling across the bridge grabbing something.
Yeah, just enemies. Yeah.
It. But the thing is, it probably has a lot to do with the fact that Upton was hidden. He let a lot of people in his group down. He knows
he didn't bring the
bullets, that soldier killed that other guy. Basically, to him, this soldier was that SS officer that stabbed Militia. He don't know what happened to those two guys up there, but he heard him screaming for the whole time he was down there. So he knows something bad happened. I'm thinking he just finally had enough.
Wow. Such a powerful film.
And I would like to say that the guy character finds his bravery and goes on to be a good soldier.
That's good.
But I also like the ending. I like the best thing because it always sets up for the very beginning of the movie. Is when Miller's dying, he tells Private Ryan to come down. He goes, earn it.
Yes.
And I think he should earn it, because after that, because there's a scene where they come to get Private Ryan, and he doesn't want to go.
He doesn't want to leave.
He won't leave.
And then it's way fun. I pointed that out, right? He didn't want to leave, right? And then there was one scene where he's crying like a little bee.
Yeah, he's just up there.
Yeah, he was crying because he didn't know what's going on.
He had a good reason. I mean, he put a good statement for why he doesn't want to leave.
No,
if he would have followed those orders, they wouldn't have lost any. The Rangers wouldn't have lost any more of their men.
No.
Who knows what would have happened to the 101st?
You're right. We didn't know, but then also when Captain Miller was there, he was the highest ranking officer in that bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the corporal.
Let's put it this way: before they got there, it was a corporal. Exactly.
That was it. Just the corporal
was the commanding officer.
Yeah, the commanding officer, and it was just a bunch of privates. So it's kind of like in a way that Upham was in charge of this group.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's not a big deal because corporal is a pretty high rank. It's the third rank.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, I think a corporal can command like a small squad.
Usually. Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean that is commanding. They got leadership.
Yeah, they got leadership, and then a captain came with a sergeant.
Yeah. The captain was a sergeant. It's like, hey, I mean, come on, what are your children doing?
Well, I thought at the end they they planted that attack because they know they were going to be outnumbered, right? They did the roadblock thing. They did the sticky bombs. I like that none of those pirates on that bridge know what a sticky bomb was. It's like it's in the field manual.
Here's the funny, in the real thing, I don't think it's in the field manual. I think the sticky bomb's actually a British device during the war.
Oh.
So, I mean, and they used it. There really is a sticky bomb, but I don't think most U.S. soldiers would have known about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it seems obvious. Like you go, huh? How would I not know about this?
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I understand, it was a British thing. Actually, British soldiers used them.
Oh, that would make sense. I guess those people.
The story is cool because but he doesn't want to go with them. So I'm like, if he would have went with them, they wouldn't all died.
Yeah.
But something would have happened. But they would have lost that bridge, and that bridge turned out. The bridge was important. Yeah. And that's the thing. I like it when Mill doesn't know what to do, and he asks the sergeant Mike. He's like,
"Oh, what would you do?" Yeah.
And of course, he goes, "Oh, you don't want to know what I." He goes, "You don't really want." He goes, "Yes, I do want your."
Yeah.
And I like it because he sets it up. He goes, "Why don't we just do it?" And some crazy reason we survived, and this is probably the best thing that we did for this war.
Yeah.
And in a way, it turned out to be a very important thing they did.
It was. You know what that last part reminded me of, for some reason, episode 7, because the air cavalry came. They were fighting, right? Like episode 7 did the same thing. This is super nerdy. They were also fighting. They were losing to the stormtrooper. I mean, sorry, not the stormtroopers. What do they call them? The First Order stormtrooper, right?
Okay, so episode 7 is Star Wars.
Star Wars. I'm sorry. I thought immediately when I say episode 7, you would immediately pick up, oh, that's Star Wars.
No.
Okay. No. So episode 7, The Force Awakens. I'm sorry. I had to be more.
I don't go by episodes. After the mess that I've seen in Star Wars, you better name it.
Ooh, you better watch it. I went to my cousin's house today. He also said the same thing. He said 7, 8, and 9 is not as good as 1 through 6.
They're not.
They're not.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on. I guess it depends on who's watching it, which generation's watching it. Because I would argue
he's our generation. He's 6 months older than you, so he's our generation.
Well, then he's right.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. they're not as good, but I do find them enjoyable. Like
I do. I mean,
yeah,
I see it. They're okay. I
they're
mean,
okay.
when we review them, then we'll disparage them for what they really are.
Okay,
But,
yeah, I would love that.
I mean, I don't really want to go into this discussion of
No,
how
not
much
right here. It's just
I think,
because like, when I thought they were gonna
I think
lose.
that J.J. Abrams didn't have a plan. He's blaming it on Disney.
We're not gonna get you started on J.J.
Right.
Abrams.
I like Disney had a plan. Their plan was to hire you to do a good job, and you didn't.
That's also subjective.
Okay, let's go on to Saving Private Ryan, which J.J. Abrams had no part of. Thank God.
So at that end, I thought they were gonna lose. Right? Like, oh my God, everybody's gonna die. They're not gonna save Private
Like he
Ryan.
was going to lose.
And then the airplanes came.
Yes, when he's shooting that pistol.
Yes.
He's got that one little pistol, and he's popping that tank.
So
We already saw the sergeant try to take out the turn of the tank with 2 bazooka shots.
Yeah.
And it didn't even disable it.
No, it didn't. He shot it once and he grabbed somebody and then he trying to run to another spot while the tank was trying to aim for them.
Yeah.
Man, it was super close. I would have crapped my pants if that was me, right? Dude, I cannot do this.
Yeah, well, I would crap my pants and just keep on shooting. Because,
And then it gets shot.
You gotta think. I bet you it smells like poop there anyway.
Yeah, if I swoop there anyway. Like, come on.
But that is it gets because Captain Miller gets blown up, and then we go back to that scene like the beach where he hits that bomb that knocks the I guess you would say knocks the sense out of him.
Yeah. Yes.
Where he just kind of sees everything.
Yeah.
And then it comes back. But yeah, the movie begins like it has a lot of what happens in the beginning happens in the end.
Yes.
It's really book welding. I mean, Spielberg tells a good story.
No, he does tell a good story.
But I'm also going to say it's probably a pretty good script.
No, it was.
Spielberg's been doing this for a long time, so
yeah.
I mean, people have he doesn't make so many movies, and a lot of people forgot his work. But I can't think of a movie that he's ever put out that's bad, ever.
Spielberg?
Yes.
So Crystal Skull don't count?
God.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here to shoot you down. I'm the plane that shot you down.
Shane. Maybe Spielberg didn't really direct that movie because
okay.
Let me put it this way. I watched Crystal Skull. There's no way Spielberg directed that.
Let me tell you that. I only watched Crystal Skull once, and that was it. I mean, like, AI was okay.
Hey, the only time I saw Crystal Skull was with you, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. I think that was the only time I've seen it.
I'm like, Shia LaBeouf's in this? I was like, I'm done.
I think we were in there really excited, too. And then, like, when we came out, it looked like we crap our pants or someone crap our pants.
We were so happy, and then we got there and we're sitting there and we're like, are we sure we're at the right movie?
Cody was there too. It was back in 2008. I'm seeing oh my gosh.
I mean, it was packed. Remember when we went there?
Yeah, it was packed.
You know what we should have done? Because we went to a lot of movies. Not all the movies were always packed.
Yeah, not all the movies, yeah.
If it's so packed that you almost can't get a seat, the movie's probably not gonna be any good.
We went to see The Dark Knight. That was good. That was packed too. And we saw Terminator Salvation.
Yes, it was. I don't remember Terminator Salvation being packed though.
No, it was packed. We went on the midnight showing. I remember that.
But it was a good movie.
That was good. I like this.
I know when we went to Dark Knight Rises. Oh God.
Yeah.
It was packed.
Let me try to see. I'm trying to see all the other movies came out after King Crystal Skull. Adventures of Tintin, Warhorse, Lincoln, Bridge of Spies. Oh, that's Tom Hanks too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Tom Hanks is his Lucky Charm.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can, Minority Report.
Tom Hanks probably hasn't made a horrible movie since the 80s.
But that was you can't. I wouldn't consider those horrible because those comedy movies, comedic.
Yeah, some of them were horrible.
But it wasn't until Philadelphia, then you're like, oh my God, this guy has a wide range.
Yeah, this guy's got tired of comedy.
Yeah.
He found the right movies. I mean, come on. Who would have known the guy that made Bosom Buddies could be? You've seen Bosom Buddies, right?
No, I know of it. Like, it's the other.
You know of it?
What's a dog movie that he was in? And Hooch. I forgot Turner and Hooch. I can't remember now.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Dragman.
Yeah, he's in a lot of
Flash, Big. But Bosom Buddies was where him and this guy were on a TV show. They're roommates and they're in a women's dormitory, so they got to dress like women. So they
no, I haven't seen it.
It was funny.
Tom Hanks. I still haven't seen the one with
Joe versus the Volcano. Don't ever see it.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the one with him and Sandra Bullock, and I love both of them. Well, Sandra Bullock more.
Oh, I didn't know he was in the movie with Sandra Bullock.
It was about 9/11, I want to say.
Okay, well, I never heard of it. I don't want to see it.
Oh, extremely loud and incredibly close.
Cool. I mean, that
I
doesn't
mean,
sound interesting to me
he
at
was
all.
in all the Toy Stories. Those are comedy, I guess you could
Yeah,
consider.
those are good. I mean, but he was a puppet. He was just voicing over a puppet.
Yeah. But you know what? Ever since then, he's in a lot of drama movies now.
He's been a lot of drama.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. I mean, he's one of the few guys from this movie still working that was the main character.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
only a Tom Sizemore movie is he was in Point Break, right? Wasn't Tom Sizemore in
Yes,
Point
he
Break?
was a Point Break. Yeah, I think he was the DEA agent.
Yeah, yeah, DEA agent. That's right. Cause I was reading about the making of this movie, right? And he has a drug and alcohol abuse problem.
Yeah, he has a few problems,
So
which is a because he's a good actor.
he's a good actor. So Spielberg tells him that he had to be drug tested every day, and if he's found positive every day, right, he would fire him, and they would reshoot all his scenes, even though it's the end of even though if they find it at the end of production. So Time
Yeah.
Sizemore stepped up, man. He didn't do any drugs, alcohol for the whole duration of this the making of this movie. I mean, I don't know how long it took this to make this movie, but
A couple months maybe.
it gotta be a few months. I mean, like the
Can't
the
remember.
battle
it's
scene
been-
probably take
it's
a
been
month.
said how long it took. Maybe it took 128 days, maybe.
Ooh, 128 days. That's a long shoot.
Yeah, I think it was. I think because I know the beach battle scene took what, like 28 days.
Yeah, that's a month. Yeah, that's a month just to shoot like 30 minutes of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's only what they show. They only
I
show
think
30
they were on it
minutes.
quite a while.
Yeah. And not only other movie I know Tom Sizemore is in Strange Days, one of my favorites.
Yes, Strange Days is so awesome.
Yeah, that's a good
I
movie.
didn't even know that was Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, because it's the long head, the hippie thing, you know?
Well, actually, I would say that was the first movie I ever saw him in. Yeah, I think it is. But I don't know. When did that come out?
98, I want to say.
So I can't remember if I saw Saving
No,
Private Ryan.
96, right? Like, because I
If it came
was
out in
working in the
96.
movies.
Then it's the first time I ever seen.
Yeah, 95.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it'd be the first movie I ever
He was
seen.
in Heat.
I never saw Heat.
Oh, Heat is great.
Yeah, I mean, I think I seen bits and pieces.
He was in True Romance.
True Romance. Yeah, I never seen True Romance either.
Oh, you never seen True Romance?
Yeah.
He was in
no.
Wyatt Earp.
I don't remember why or.
Which Wyatt Earp? Is it the it's gotta be it's the Kevin Costner one.
Yeah, well, that's the only why they got.
Well,
I wasn't all that impressed with that movie. So.
Natural Born Killers. I never seen that. I seen The Relic.
Okay, so I may have seen him before, but I sure don't remember him.
It just probably don't remember him, right? He was an Enemy of the State.
But I do remember him in.
Strange Days.
Yeah, Strange. You can't forget it was Strange Days. He's like a very important character in Strange Days.
He was in Pearl Harbor. I'm looking. Yeah, you say he was in Black Hawk Down. He was also in Pearl Harbor.
What did he play in Pearl Harbor?
Sergeant Earl Cistern. He was
And I
a
bet
sergeant.
he's probably somebody we're supposed to know. It's probably a character I'm supposed to remember, and I don't.
See, you just have to
Yeah,
rewatch.
but that's the thing. There's so many of these. Okay, a lot of people in Pearl Harbor were in Saving Private Ryan, and a lot of people who were in Pearl Harbor were also in Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down is because they are like it's the resumes right there, right? Like, oh, why don't you just
'cause I mean,
recast
like,
this
to
guy?
me, if you see Tom Sizemore, you're gonna make him a sergeant. He's a sergeant in every movie.
Yeah, he is. He's like that Hispanic actor that didn't make him play Hector all the time.
It's like this. There's another actor that he's been in a lot of movies, but the only one I could think of right at the moment is Transformers. Remember the general
Yes.
in Transformers, that redheaded guy?
Yeah.
He plays a general in almost every movie he is in. I always wondered, was this guy really in the military as a general? Because
And you know
he's
what?
in every movie.
Hollywood and
I even
typecast.
thought he got
So
killed in Transformers. The guy got killed in Transformers as that general, and he's a general again in Transformers as another general.
it's just typecast. You know, it's just easier to find
I know.
actors that way.
He's such a typecast. He's like in the same movie franchise as the general that got killed and came back as the same general. Must have been his twin brother. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, it was a pretty good movie.
Of course it was.
I mean, I don't know. The war scenes is pretty violent. Realism is the key.
I just say, you know what? How long was this movie? I keep saying that it doesn't seem that long.
2 hours and
169 minutes, so 2 hours and 50 minutes almost. 2 hours and 49.
yeah, and it doesn't feel like it's that long. I know
No,
it's
it doesn't.
I know it feels like a couple hours, but I don't know. I think it's something that grabs you and keeps your attention for so
No,
long.
because you're always chasing on the next thing, like, oh, where are you gonna go next, right? Because that was a time where like at the
Or
airborne
who
scene, like,
dies
yeah,
next?
who
Yeah,
dies next? Like, I was hoping like, no, not everybody's gonna die, right?
yeah.
And it's like
Well,
every place is one by one.
yeah,
It
because
was really sad when the medic died. When Ray died, oh
yeah. Well, that's because everybody loved that guy.
yeah,
And you notice? Did you
he
notice
was a
that
good
Wade
kid.
doesn't carry a weapon?
He doesn't.
Nope, Wade doesn't carry a weapon.
I didn't notice
The
that.
medic.
So medics don't carry weapons.
They do nowadays,
Oh,
but I think from what I understand, the Geneva Conventions back then, hey, you normally weren't supposed to shoot medical people,
really?
and so if you can't shoot them, then they shouldn't have a gun to shoot back at you.
Oh,
You know, that makes sense.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, normally if you
But
have a
dude, is this
like,
a rule that they really follow?
yeah, well,
Yeah, that's the thing.
that's a rule that the United States follows. Most of our allies follow. The
Oh,
Japanese did not follow that rule at
yeah. It
all.
just like, yeah, of course not.
If they said, because you know because I heard stories about medical ships. Usually, you put that red cross symbol on anything and you don't attack it. And
Oh,
sometimes those actually get hit in fire. But they had medical ships during the war in the Pacific. They're white. They had the big cross on them. Normally, most nations wouldn't attack it. Japan attacks them.
oh, of course they would.
I mean, yeah, that was their thing. They're like, oh, there's got a big old red cross. That's where we're going to shoot.
Hmm.
But yeah, most nations didn't. I mean, I think it was probably more observed during World War One. Most nations didn't attack Red Cross.
That's an interesting fact. Remember,
Well,
like
why
what?
would you? Why would you attack somebody that's already wounded and has no weapons? You have to be a really low life to do something like that.
What? So he's telling Japanese people about low life?
I'm calling whoever attacks the Red Cross that. I'm not calling
So,
Japanese people anything. I'm calling people who attack
oh,
her
at that
yeah,
time, people
at
would,
that
yeah, yeah.
time.
Because do you
That time,
remember? Like this is an interesting to talk about because we were talking about World War II, right? So remember, Cody went to UTD, and he said there was a Japanese guy there, and they were going over history, and the Japanese guy got upset because he's like, "That's not what happened."
well, yeah, because I'm sure he's taught a different version.
So I'm thinking like, I want to learn that version. Is it the Clint Eastwood version? Remember,
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood make two different World War II movies at the same time, Flags of Our Fathers and Letters of Iwo Jima, and then it tells from the Japanese point of view, like the
yeah,
way they attack Pearl Harbor, right? It just basically, we want to control the Pacific, and this is the way that we see it. I'm like, oh, I didn't think, like, I never thought about that before.
yeah. I mean, each nation saw it different. I mean, Germany saw them as the good guy, like you said earlier.
Yep.
I mean, all these guys saw themselves as the good guy, but I'm like,
You
if you're
can't have a
going over,
war if both sides, the only way you can have a war if both sides think they're good.
yeah, but I'm thinking if you're going over to other countries, you're taking people and you're wiping out a whole race of people.
You're the
You're not
bad
the
guy.
good guy.
Yeah,
You're
you're
kind of
not
the
the
bad
good
guy.
guy.
I mean,
you
come on, who does?
Oh, I'm trying to do the greater good. For what? For yourself?
Yeah, but I mean, I could see that Japan may teach a different deal of history because I mean,
Sometimes
come
I
on.
try to find out online, like, hey, what is Japanese history of World War II? Or like, what did they teach their students? A lie? Or
You
to
got to
me?
think. Well, you got to think that they lied to their people.
Yeah, they, no, to us they do, right? Like, what if
No,
to them, like,
no. During World War II, the Japanese military lied to their people.
oh, they did already back
They
then?
didn't know that they didn't know that they started the war. They didn't know that they had Koreans and doing all kinds of horrible things to them.
Oh,
I mean, it's like German people. Most of those German people didn't know they. I mean, they saw with their eyes, but they didn't want to believe that they were doing all that horrible stuff to the Jewish people.
mm,
They were. I mean, it was in the open. They're yanking them out of their houses and doing all kinds of stuff.
dang.
I mean, it's the thing. A lot of people in these countries got caught up in the movement. You know, like all the German people. Oh, let's just do this. It's awesome. By the time they start to lose the war, then they realize, oh, we're doing something wrong.
Oh,
But you got to think that the Japanese people, they only know what they've been told. The
wow.
United States is the invader to them.
So, when I was in high school, back in the mid 90s now, I remember I was either 11th or 12th grade, right? We were able to get a Holocaust survivor, like this old Jewish man. He came and
Okay.
yeah, he came and talked to us, right? And I was like, oh, this is pretty intense. He would say like he was just a little boy, right? And he was a translator for an SS officer.
Yeah, now that kind of suck.
Yeah, he said he was just a translator. He was maybe 11 or 10 at the time, and it was at the end. It was almost at the end, right? He remember when they were saying like, oh, the Americans are here. I forgot what country he was in, but he was an SS translate. He was just a little boy. So I guess if
Was he
the
like Poland? Probably.
yeah, oh, I think he was in Poland. I can't remember exactly because you know what's really crazy though? I remember what this old man looks like. This old Jewish person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
was
make
just
any
telling
impression.
about his experience, and then I was thinking like, there's nothing like that anymore, right? I mean, there's no more Holocaust survivors, like at 2021. It's not like my son's gonna get the same experience. They might
No,
have a relative.
well, I mean, I didn't get that experience.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
was just so crazy. I remember where it was. I remember which class he came and talked to us, tell us his story. It was just crazy.
Reminds me of another movie. You ever seen Enemy at the Gates?
With Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Is it Owen Wilson? Oh,
Oh,
that's behind enemy lines.
that's
Oh, that's
not-
Jude Law, right?
Yeah, Jude Law.
Yes.
Yes, Jude Law. Do you see? Because you remember there's a that German soldiers where he's giving that kid candy bars to
I
tell
never
him.
seen it.
Oh, well, that's one to see.
Who's that female actress?
Rachel Wise.
Rachel Wise. That's right.
Yeah, she's in it,
Yeah.
and Hellboy's in it too.
Ron Perlman.
Yep,
Yes.
it's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
Oh,
But it's told by the Russian point of view.
By the Russian point of view,
Yeah,
I could
because
hear.
he's a Russian sniper.
I could hear my sister now telling me a comment next week saying like, "You need to watch Behind Enemy Gates." Oh no! Was it behind at the what was it called? Enemy Gates.
Enemy at the Gates?
Enemy at the Gates. Yes.
Yes, it's a good movie. We'll have to do that one. It's actually one of the video games. Because okay, remember, Medal of Honor does this game.
Yes.
It does this movie we're talking about.
Oh.
I almost think it's another Medal of Honor game. I can't remember if it's Medal of Honor or if it's the other game. What's the other war game?
Call of Duty.
I think it's Call of Duty 2, actually.
Really?
That's the first part of this deal. And because in the movie, it starts off as we will give you a gun, we will give you bullets, you shoot the enemy. If you drop your gun or you die, drop the gun, you grab the gun and you shoot the enemy or something like that, basically. And it's in the game and it's in this movie.
Oh wow.
So you follow the guy, yeah, because they didn't have enough guns. So the second guy follows the guy with the gun. If he dies, you get his gun and you start fighting.
Oh, okay. Wow.
If you surrender, if you retreat,
yeah,
they stand there with a machine gun and they shoot over you.
Oh.
So the Russians were brutal. So they shot half their guys they could reuse again.
Enemy at the Gates. Joseph Fiennes. Joseph Fiennes. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Joseph Fiennes. Which his brother was in, Strange Days.
Yes.
It was a good movie.
Bob Hoskins. Ed Harris is in this movie.
Yeah, Ed Harris is the bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he plays a pretty good villain.
Well, Ed Harris is a good actor anyway.
Ed Harris is an awesome actor.
Yeah.
Best movie, though, for Ed Harris is Beautiful Mind.
Ooh, I had a feeling you were going to say that. He is pretty good in Beautiful Mind. I like that movie
It's
a
a
lot.
good movie.
Yeah,
It was just a good movie, so it had a lot of good roles for everybody.
Enemy
Paul
at the-
Bettany's, that's almost Paul Bettany's best movie, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that Paul Bettany is 50 now. He looks so much younger to me.
He's Vision. Live
Yeah.
forever. Well, except for the Mind Stone problem, but hey. Not all of us could be born with a stone in our head.
I want to talk about music. It's by John Williams for Saving Private Ryan.
I don't know any of his stuff, though.
John Williams?
John Williams. I thought you said something else for a second.
No,
Yeah,
John Williams. Yeah.
Didn't sound very Star Wars-y to me.
Well, he does other stuff besides Star Wars, right?
Yeah, he's done a whole lot of stuff. He's even done Lost in Space, the original TV show from the 60s.
Oh, yeah, he did Home Alone, obviously Indiana Jones.
He's done a lot of good stuff. He does a lot of good stuff.
Superman, Chandler's List, but there's a lot of Spielberg stuff.
I know. That's the thing, though. Most of his music's very recognizable, though. If
Yes,
somebody,
it is.
I mean, if I was to go back to Saving Private Ryan, because I've watched it a couple times now, and I heard the music, none of the music can go, this is John Williams to me, which
No.
is probably a good thing. But most movies, you sit down in the theater, it starts, it's John Williams.
Yes.
I mean, come on, he makes. I mean, most of everything that we watched in our childhood is John Williams.
Yeah, it is. Home Alone, he did Home Alone.
Yeah, I mean, every you dressed up in a costume trying to be somebody else, you listen to the movie with John Williams music.
Yep. Wow, he's born in Flushing, Queens. Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, because I live in Flushing, Queens.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Interesting. You may have went past him in your life or
Yeah, it's
something.
very possible.
Maybe standing on the corner.
You wouldn't recognize him though. Like, he looks just like any other
You
old
wouldn't recognize
man.
anyway, because isn't it kind of crowded there?
Oh, it's super crowded.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you walk down the street and go, "Hey, I know this guy. I know this guy."
I know, right? Like,
I mean,
I'm just trying to make sure that I don't bump into anybody today.
exactly. I mean, do you even look at anybody's faces when you're walking down the streets in New York?
No.
It's probably not a good idea. Huh?
No. Yeah, you're right. It's not a good idea. What if you're looking at? I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it's
9.
Well, you got a lot of movie stars still like to live there, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody recognizes it unless they're eating in a restaurant.
That's why Leo still wear the baseball cap and everything.
Yeah, it's like shit. Nobody wants to look at my face here in New York.
So how many war? I guess let's do World War II or war movies. We already mentioned Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
Is Enemy at the Gates World War II?
yes, it is. It's World War II. It's from the other allies, the Soviet Unions.
The Soviet Union. Okay.
You got to remember during this time, while we're hitting when they're doing Normandy, the Germans are attacking Soviet Union, and they're already all the way up to I think Petersburg.
Wow.
Well, they're coming back, yeah, because I mean, it kind of split the troops. I mean, it kind of divided them out. So the Russians are now coming in from the east, and the Allies, the other Allies, the Western Allies, are coming in from the west. And then there's a Thin Red Line.
Thin Red Line. The Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that movie either.
I haven't seen that movie. It's
Who else
Pacific. It should be a Pacific War movie.
Is it a Pacific War movie? Oh, that
Yeah,
was in 1998. It was also during this time.
Yeah, it came out against this movie.
Oh, it's directed by Terrence Malick.
Yeah, this was against this movie. It's more of a.
Oh, it's Sean Penn, Adrian Brody. Oh, this is a big cast. The guy who plays Jesus, Jim Caviezel, Ben Chaplin, George Clooney.
Yeah, that's
John Cusack, Woody Harrelson. Of all these guys, I only remember Woody Harrelson. What the heck? John Travolta, John C. Reilly. Well, dude, this is the bigger cast than Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, but which one are we talking about?
Oh my, you're right. Yeah, which one are we talking about?
And which one did we go see? Sadly, I didn't go because I didn't go see Thin Red Line.
I didn't. I saw Saving Private Ryan.
I saw Saving Private Ryan.
What
we didn't
is
see
that?
it. I guess I got to see it now and see how good it is. But somehow I don't think it's gonna be as good.
It was released on Christmas Day.
Huh.
Or limited release on Christmas Day. It didn't come until January 15th.
We also have the Code Talkers. The Code Talkers.
Is it Wind Talkers or Code Talkers?
Oh, is it Wind Talkers?
You talk about Nicolas Cage, right? The
yes,
Wind
Nicolas
Talkers?
Cage.
That was the Pacific one.
Yes, it's about Navajo Code Talkers.
Yes, I think it's called Wind Talkers. Yeah, the Wind Talkers.
Is it Wind Talkers? Okay.
This one's directed by John Woo. I remember it's because like the Germans or the Japanese or the Germans were able to decipher it's Japanese, right? Was able to decipher every single message that we can relay. They'll figure it out. So the only thing we can't do is like, well, they can figure out another language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a kind of good movie.
Oh, you seen it?
Yes. It wasn't. It's not the best World War II movie.
Oh.
I think if they would have replaced Nicolas Cage with somebody else, it probably would have been better.
Oh my god, that's messed up. That's just one actor. It
sad.
sounds like it's the actor's fault.
Well,
just not the director, not anybody else, just this guy.
I guess it's hard. I guess it's kind of harsh.
Oh wow.
I don't remember it being. I just remember it not being as good as it should have been.
Okay.
You know, I guess I expected more out of it, and then when I saw it, it was like. But we got that. What did we do? Pearl Harbor, that Enemy at the Gates. We're just doing modern World War II movies, right?
Well, what do you mean by modern? Like in the 90s? It looks like everything comes out at that time, though. That's crazy, right?
No, after World War II, during World War II, there's lots of movies. World War II movies.
Oh, I mean, like during the 98, 99 era.
Yeah, there was a lot of movies then, but I mean, there's a lot of World War II movies from then on.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. I'm going to put...
And there's Memphis Belle. I think that's 80s. Or is that early 90s?
World War II movies.
Memphis Belle. You ever see that?
No, I don't even remember
it's probably before you. I'm going to say it's in the 80s then if you didn't see it.
Yeah, it might be.
It had a lot of famous actors in it.
The
So
Great
what we
Escape.
about it was B-17 bombers.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm gonna look at the World War II movies in the '90s. The Last Days, Life is Beautiful, Chandler's List, which is also another Spielberg movie. I like that one. That is a good
Yeah, that
movie.
was a good one.
A Walk in the Clouds? What the heck?
I think that's just showing movies that take place during the period
Oh, okay.
with some ties to military. Because I think Keanu Reeves was a World War II soldier.
Oh, okay. The English Patient?
The English Patient would be a World War II movie.
Yeah, it would be, right?
Hey, the Valkyrie. It's Tom Cruise.
Oh, that was in the 2000, wasn't it?
Wasn't? No, it was in the
The
90s.
Valkyrie? I thought the internet was up. I remember like
Okay.
because they
I could be
modeled
wrong.
Tom Cruise that he looks like that German SS officer,
Yeah,
which is
he has the
kind of
patch. I don't
which
know if
is
he was SS, but yeah, he has
oh,
the
but
patch.
the German officer. But it looks creepy to me. Like why does he look so much like him? Is Tom
Yeah.
Cruise part German?
No.
No, yeah, I knew that, but like, oh my gosh. I'm trying to find, yeah, probably butchering everything. Is that it? All the World War II movies? I
In the
thought we
90s,
named a lot.
there couldn't be that many in the 90s.
Yeah.
We named a lot. Oh wait, we forgot. Well, we're gonna get out of the 90s. Fury.
Oh, that's kind of recent, right?
Yes, it's recent.
Yeah.
It's a good one. That's
Yeah,
the
you
one.
told me it was a good one.
That's a good one. That's the one that should be on the list too.
Really? Fury.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just naming good World War II movies. I'm not naming crummy World War
What about the Jacob the Liar with Robin Williams?
II. Robert, I don't know that I saw that one.
Huh.
It's not like we're naming Empire of the Sun either. So
Empires on the Sun is in the 80s.
yeah, no. Well, we're stuck in the 90s. What are we doing in the 90s? Let's get out of the 90s.
So like
Some,
of all time?
some of us need to move on.
Okay, so let's just go over like the good ones that we've
The
seen.
good
That's
ones
World
that-
War II, right?
Yeah, Fury.
Fury, and I said Chandler's List. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah. Schindler's List, Pearl Harbor,
Pearl Harbor. I,
Windtalkers.
it's hard for me to agree on Pearl Harbor because it's directed by Michael Bay.
You didn't think it was good?
It's okay. It's not as good as Saving Private Ryan.
No, I would say it's good to Saving Private Ryan.
Because like
but
I don't think I've seen Pearl Harbor more than 2 times. I've
Really?
probably
I've
seen
seen
it once
twice.
when it came out and once on DVD. And
Oh, okay, I've seen-
you had to change the stupid disc, okay? Because the movie
Yes.
was so long. You had
yes, I
to
remember.
yeah on
Remember.
disc too.
I still didn't. I usually just watch the second disc. Though.
Dunkirk. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I haven't said Dunkirk and we forgot about it.
Because it's directed by Christopher Nolan.
That's that would be a good one because that'd be more of our allies.
Yeah. And Jojo Rabbit, which I haven't seen.
Haven't seen it either.
Oh, I thought you
I
seen
wouldn't
it.
either. No, I haven't seen JoJo.
Oh,
Rabbit.
okay.
People told me about it, and I know who the actors are in it.
Yeah, I do too.
Man, I just thought of one when you said Jojo Rabbit. Now I forgot it.
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh yes, that's what I was about to say. Inglourious Bastard, and I love that one.
The Imitation Game.
I didn't see the Imitation Game.
Oh, there's a movie with Brad Pitt and Marion. Her name Cotillard. How do you say her name? Yeah, Allied.
Oh, Allied, where they're spies.
Yes. Monument Man.
Monument, I have seen. Very good.
It's very good.
Oh yes, I love Monument. It's pretty good.
Oh.
I mean, it's not like Saving Private Ryan good, but it's got everybody in it. It's got George
It got
Clooney.
Bill Murray and George Clooney in it.
Yeah, it's got John
Matt
Goodman
Damon.
in it. Matt
Oh, that's
Damon.
right. I do remember John Goodman. Yes.
That's a good movie.
I mean,
That's
I'm
a good
reading a
movie.
lot, right? But like some of them, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh, Defiance. Daniel
Oh, I
Craig.
haven't seen Defiance because it's got James Bond in it.
Yeah, James Bond in it. Yeah.
So he's like a resistance fighter.
Valkyrie. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I heard that was good.
Hey, that's probably gonna be hard to watch.
Yeah, it's probably hard to watch. Yeah, I agree.
the Holocaust movie.
Yeah, it's a Holocaust movie. Wow. That's quite a bit. Well, I only looked at popular movies. But
Yeah, well, I mean, you're gonna make it. How can you miss World War II?
oh, I said that earlier, The Pianist.
Yeah, there's been a lot. But
Yeah, it's a lot.
we go back to the 50s. There's gonna be tons of them. No, Tora Tora.
Oh, that's right.
Was it 5 o'clock high? I think there's a whole bunch of other movies.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge, we forgot. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You seen that?
No.
Man, that's a really good one too.
Dude, I haven't even
Buckets
seen Fury or Dunkirk.
Ball. Oh man,
One of my favorite directors, Christopher Nolan. I have not seen Dunkirk.
Yeah, what's the
I should watch that on IMAX because
yeah?
he's
What's
really
wrong
good
with
with IMAX.
what's wrong with you? I haven't
I
even
don't
seen
know,
it.
kids responsibility and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so you're okay.
Okay, I do want to see Jojo Rabbit because it's directed by that director. I don't know how to say his
Yeah,
name.
Walkie,
Waki.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all
Walkie.
I know.
Oh, we just know that he directed Thor.
Tom Hanks was in a movie called Greyhound. Is that World War II?
I never heard of this.
No, me neither. It's 2020, so it's recent.
What's it called again? Greyhound? Who's
Greyhound,
that?
like the bus. Tom Hanks.
Nah, can't be World War II.
I'm gonna look that up because I just look at World War II movies, like I not the 90s, but all of it. Greyhound. It sounds like it's a bus driver movie. I, I don't see it in his resume thing.
That's what it comes up to. That's what I think of when I hear Greyhound.
Yeah, I know, right?
We had to get on a bus.
Greyhound, Tom Hanks. Oh, Tom Hanks drama movie. What the heck? Elizabeth Shue. Oh, here we go. How come I can't find it?
No, maybe it's not great.
It's probably just still recent. He's a commander of it follows a commander of the U.S.
Oh,
Navy.
it's a submarine movie.
Oh, that's right. I remember this now. Yeah, it's a submarine movie.
I haven't got around to seeing that yet. Which makes me reminds me of there's another one. U571. Is it U571?
Yeah, UI71.
Yes.
Is it called the Widowmaker?
No, that's K something. That's Harrison Ford. That's Cold War.
Yeah.
That's Cold War. No, this one is Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, you're right. Yes, I do remember what you're talking about. U571.
Which is actually it was an okay movie.
Is it U571? Is that World War II?
It's World War II. Yeah.
Back in 2000.
Is a German U-boat.
Oh, John Bon Jovi, Harvey Keitel, Bill Paxton's in this movie.
Wait. Bon Jovi was in this movie?
Yeah, Lieutenant Pete somebody.
I sure don't remember that. Maybe that's why it wasn't so great.
Pete Emmett, yeah. I do remember McConaughey.
It was actually an okay movie. It was an okay movie.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yes, I saw it. I have it. I own it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went and bought it. I used to buy all the war movies.
Well, more movies are good. I do like that World War II time period. I never saw Band of Brothers though.
I still haven't seen Band of Brothers.
It's a show on HBO.
Out of all the things I want to see that I think that I need to see for World War II would be Bands of Brothers.
Yeah, Bands of Brothers. Yeah.
It's probably some people have actually said that's better than Saving Private Ryan, and I could see it might be, but isn't it like a miniseries?
Yeah, it's a HBO series. It's something that produced by Tom Hanks and Spielberg after they made this
movie. That's probably why it's better.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to actually, I think it follows the real story.
Yeah, and I think they could tell it in a longer time too, because it's a TV series.
We also forgot that we left out of our list. You already mentioned it, the ones that Eastwood made.
Oh yes, we did, huh? I forgot.
Yeah,
Even though I just said it.
How we skipped that?
Flags of Our Fathers and Letters to Iwo Jima. I need to watch those. I haven't seen them. It's very funny. I bought the DVDs a long time ago, and I still haven't watched those movies. And you know what? That would be something I watch, right? Because come on, he made 2 movies. It's like, in video games they do this a lot. The good guy version, or I guess the other guy version. I don't want to say bad guy.
The antagonist version.
Yeah. Are you like? When was the last time you seen a movie like that, or any series like that? Who can make it besides Clint Eastwood? He just does a.
I can't think of ever seeing that.
No.
But all I'm hearing is, man, that's a long movie.
Yeah, but it's into 2 separate movies, right? You don't have to watch them together.
Yeah, well, I probably wouldn't watch the other one after I watch the first one. And be like,
so what you want to do is, I guess in a way, I never seen it. We watch the Japanese one first, then we watch the Americans. Don't do it the other way. Don't do it the right way.
That I would have to do that because because if I watch the American side, I'll be like,
forget the other guys.
You already know how horrible those guys were.
Yeah, I need to look at that. Man.
But there's been quite a few World War II movies. I almost be more with the time period. I think there's more movies set in the time period.
What do you mean, like more movies?
Well, that had like a little bit to do with. Then wasn't really a focus on the war itself, but efforts during the war.
Yeah.
So.
Wolverine. Just that little scene.
Yeah. Just,
They were on the beaches, right? That's the scene they show.
oh wait, we should go back to the first one because there's the one where he's the second Wolverine movie. Remember where he's in the prison, the
Yes.
Japanese prison?
Oh, that's why the Wolverine.
Yeah, the Wolverine.
Yes.
I mean, do you think about it? How did he fight way over there and then go all the way over there? I'm like, that guy got around for a Canadian.
You
I mean,
pointed it out.
I'm not knocking Canada's war effort because they fought.
Oh, the Canadian.
Yeah, they did a lot of fighting too for the Allies. So.
No, you know what? I never thought about that. Like, yeah, that's
But
funny.
it's kind of weird. He gets over there and he's over here. And,
Yeah, he saved that Japanese guy in that little hole, right? That little sewage thing. The well, I guess.
I don't know if it's sad. We start off about talking about real war movies.
And then we talk about the superhero, right? So we always get stuck.
Yeah, we're going to
stuff.
fiction. Because I mean, if we're gonna do that, we might as well Captain America.
I was gonna just point that out because I just noticed my toy in the background. Captain America is a World War II movie.
First Avenger. Oh yeah, now we also have to go to X-Men First Class.
Yes, X-Men. No, is it First Class? No, that was the Cold War.
The first movie starts off with his life at a prison camp.
Oh, that's right. So the first X-Men movie, both First Class and the first X-Men movie.
No, First Class. Yeah, at the beginning of First Class. Remember?
So it's the beginning of the first X-Men
Shows him
movie.
when he's a little boy.
So it's the first beginning of the first X-Men movie. It's almost like the same scene but longer.
The first X-Men movie sucked so bad I don't even remember it. I mean, I guess it did suck bad, but it sucked bad enough that I can't remember it.
It doesn't suck as bad as some other movies.
Let me put it this way. If I was to get a mental implant that, the one that Elon Musk is doing, I still wouldn't remember the movie, even with advanced technology.
Okay.
What ticks me off is, they're about to do the multiverse.
Yeah.
And people are like, I hope they link the X-Men from Fox. I'm like, if they even touch the Fox crap, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what? Let's just end it right here.
Yeah. Why would you do all that hard work to show some crap?
Yeah, they need to do the whole thing. So I want to end this right here, right? And then next week, I want to bring it back to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's the next on our list.
Because we're better talking about superhero stuff.
Yeah, we are obviously better to talk about hero stuff. I mean, I love to talk about World War II movie all day long. Yeah, I mean, probably after we watch this, we could probably work it later in our lives. But right now, this is it for this one.
Yeah, because there's a lot of World War II movies we need to catch up on.
Yes.